Alright, what's up everyone? It's the Marklandian. In this video, I'm showing you how to install these forks and triples. This video was originally filmed like 3-4 weeks before this intro right here, and the outro at the end. Originally, this was part of a longer video, but this one only takes out the fork section and goes a little bit more in depth for you guys. And yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so I've removed the front plastics. The front number plate here just has 2 clips that you push from the back to pop out. And then I'm not sure what the stock bolt is because I had an aftermarket bolt in here. But I know at least one of them's a 10mm, and I'm pretty sure underneath is a 5mm Allen. And then now what I'm going to do is remove the triples up here. To start doing that, I'm going to remove these handlebars. We'll get to that. Alright, so now the handlebars are off. Just unbolted the 4 6mm Allen head bolts that held down the risers, and it came off super easy. So I use a 17 for these, but it's really loose. Like, it's not the right size for the bolt. But these don't really get tightened too much in my experience, so they come off. I mean, yeah, I barely had to do anything. Alright, so both bolts are out, and we're going to use our 17 and a 6mm Allen on this stem bolt right here. Make sure your front axle and wheel is off. I made sure it was. And then line it up. And it should, yep, loosen pretty easy. You can see they're already separating. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, the fork kit I have comes with this 15mm stem bolt and this conical bearing setup. So I'll show you how to pack these as well. But this should all just bolt straight in. But what we're going to have to do is take out these 2 bearings right here. How I'm going to do that is I'm just going to take this bolt, put it down in here. I'm going to use a hammer to slam this bottom bearing out, and then do the same upwards. Alright, so we got a hammer now, and you can see that pops straight out. And then there goes the second bearing. Alright, so with the conical bearing kit, you're going to get these right here, which will go straight in the same place that the old bearings went. What you're going to want is, you'll see it's tapered. Where the center diameter is smaller, you're going to want that at the bottom. So basically this outer edge right here gets thinner the more outwards it comes. So I'm just going to kind of do that right there. And then preferably you would like to actually have a press kit for this. I'm going to use a 2x4, just like so, and lightly tap it all the way in. The frame was moving too much on the jack stands I have it on, so I had to move it onto the floor. But as you can see, this is all the way down in there, seated perfectly around all the edges. Alright, so I have both bearings right here. And then usually there's, I don't remember what it is. I think it's Loctite, the like red and tacky grease. But you're going to want to find some nice grease for this. Unless, I'm pretty sure some companies send grease with theirs. Don't quote me on that. But basically what you're going to do is get some grease, throw it on your hand like so, And then if you see, what we're going to do is try to get between all these little needle bearings. We're going to push it in there, just like so. As you can see, it's already starting to come out the top right here. So what you're going to want to do is go around the whole bearing until it comes out the top like that. As you can see, right at the top right there, you can see where it's coming through. You're going to want to do that around the whole bearing. Alright. And once you've made sure that's come out all the sides like that, basically like this whole, all in between all these little bearings, the needles for the bearing are all filled. You're going to want to just set that in there. And then on to the next one. This is going to be messy. I recommend using gloves, personally. But I did not have any gloves on hand, which I wish I did. Usually on bigger bearings, you gotta do it from both sides, but since these are small enough, it basically just goes straight through. You can see all right there, it's coming between all the needles. Like I said, you're going to want to do that all around all the sides. Push out some of this grease. And there we go. And now I am going to clean my hands off. Cause yeah. Alright, so now that you have both bearings in there and packed with grease, make sure to do that. What I'm going to do is take my top triple clamp, slide my bolt through, and then there's some washers that go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm putting half of them on this side. What I'm going to do is take a wrench. So this, alright, there's 4 washers. Into here. Hold this bearing up with a wrench. That's fine there. Alright. Yeah, it'd probably be beneficial to wipe this off. So I'm gonna wipe this off real quick. And now what I'm gonna do is, now that I wipe that off, put on these washers, put on the bottom triple clamp. And is this the correct nut? No. Make sure you have the correct nut. And not the one off the stock forks. Alright, so we're going to put these washers back on. Bottom triple clamp. Alright. There we go. Then I will go find the correct wrenches for this. Alright, quick cut. I'll move you guys back a little bit. Oh, loud. Anyway, so this bottom triple clamp, if you see this outer edge right here, it has to be spaced down so it doesn't hit where the stock stop went. So what I had to do to save you guys the time is mess around with the washers, what's on top and what's on bottom, how many on each spot. And now it should work fine. But yes, that is one thing I'd watch out for. I'd say dry assemble without the grease, and see how many washers you need to put on the bottom and on the top. Because personally, I had to put 5 on the bottom and 3 on the top. But I originally had 3 on the top. No, I had the opposite, yeah. I had 5 on the top, 3 on the bottom. There we go. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is install both risers for the handlebars. Put my grease away. I would not like to step on that and have it go everywhere. And yeah. So you run your bolt under here. Crank those down. You do not want them to loosen while you're riding. And then now, I think I'm just gonna put my Pro Taper bars back onto here. Like I said, the last owner put these on. They cut this in half, so I don't know what that's about. But I'm just gonna take it off, and then should just bolt straight on like this. Yep. And add your 4 bolts right here, and they have a wait, is it 6mm? Yes, 6mm Allen for these. All right. Start tightening these down. And what I'm going to do is take my bars. I'm basically going to do the same angle I have on my other bike. Just slightly more back. Yeah, about right there. And make sure these are centered. Tighten, tighten. Make sure all your bolts are tight. Because like I said, you do not want these moving. And there's that. Okay, so now we are going to slide the fork tubes in. Alright. Which what I like about these, which you'll see on a lot of them, this is my favorite design, these 2 bolts on each of them. Let me show you. 2 bolts on each of these, because you can get it down pretty tight going from one bolt to the other. So I'll tighten this one, go back and forth until both are snug. Yeah, should be good. And then same for down here. Make sure it's fully seated. Tighten it. Go to the other one. Tighten it. Go to the other one. Tighten it. And then just straight back and forth. What you're going to do is until both of these are pretty snug. You don't want to crank it down because like I said, you don't want to strip it. And there are some installed triples. Alright, so hoping you're liking the video. Now we're at the end basically. So what I didn't show, because these came in after I filmed, were these front guards here, which are 3 Phillips head screws. And then if you want to see how to install the brakes, space the front wheel, that'll all be in different videos.
go check out the channel. And if you like the video, like it. And if you want to see more videos, subscribe. This was the Marklandian, and I'll see you on the next video.